All right, so welcome everyone. We're here with Lauren and Callum, and really they're just going to share their own personal journey in the creative coaching certification and what their experiences have been. And I'm just going to hand it off to you, Lauren, and I want you to just share. And I'll ask you some questions, but just share from your heart anything you want to share and your own journey and your own incredible genius.
Okay, so my name is Lauren. I found out I was a projector in 2018 and got invited into your Facebook group around that time. It was like right after I found out. So many things just sort of like it just made sense. My whole life made sense. Learning I was a projector, and I really started diving into the intel throughout the years. And I think it was last year, I had done some of Raquel's like free workshops and some paid classes and stuff, but I was kind of contemplating doing the certification courses. And then she invited me, which was awesome because I'm a projector. So that's usually what has happened with some of my career choices is I get certified through the invitation and being recognized, which is really awesome. So I've been through this journey being certified. I think we're like what, like a year already? It's been like over a year, level three. So it's definitely like transformed my life in so many ways. Just noticing the difference as to like my alignment and my theme and who I truly am as a projector, and then all my not self conditioning, and just seeing that more and more as I live in my design and experiment. And it's like this inner intelligence just starts turning on more and more. And then I notice the contrast, even like it's amplified when I'm like, oh, that's so my not self, or like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt bitter and the longest time, and wow, like I do not miss this feeling. And it's like it's both, like, of course, like projectors, we hate feeling bitter, but it's such a gift when that's been like absent and like start to dissipate from your life and you start recognizing your own self, and then having other people recognize you and then start like experimenting with what success means to you as a projector. So I think human design, I mean, I'm just so grateful because it's transformed my life in so many ways. And then being able to understand other people and their design and realizing like nothing really is personal. It really just like they say, it's all aura mechanics, it's all our energy, it's all our design and how we're just living through it. So that's been my channel journey.
Yeah, so
uh,
powerful. I love the way you're expressing this because as you're sharing your journey, I'm getting this deep awareness of it's like I can when projectors start speaking their insight, you can feel it in your body. You can feel the unfolding of insight. And even though obviously you're saying words about human design, I know it's like your frequency and the way in which you say it, it starts moving in a new way. And that's what I've watched with you. I've watched you just peeling away all of those layers. And you and I, we both kind of came from the high end, like coaching kind of, world where we're trying to create our business based on our brand and all the things that you learn in there. And then it's kind of like that unraveling of that until you get to just really be yourself. And so I've watched that in you and it's just really beautiful. It's like all of a sudden you get to see like your truth and your beauty and your elegance and all that stuff come. And so Lauren is a mental projector, which is a really special, really unique, beautiful way a projector can operate. So, share a little bit more on that, on your sort of awakening to this genius that you've been allowing to kind of come out more and more. What's that process been for you?
Yeah, so kind of just backpacking off what you were talking about, the high-end coaching and like coaches who coach online and coach other coaches. For me personally, all those things don't really resonate based on my design. I really had to choose something so different. And that is kind of my design. It's just I don't fit in. I do not fit in anywhere. And so being a mental projector on top of that, depending on, who knows about human design, I have no motors that are defined. So it really is this experiment of writing these ways of when I have energy, when I'm recognized, because when I get recognition, that really does give me the energy if the invitation is correct for me. If it's not, I get to feel what that, or soundboard it out, I should say, because sometimes my intuition is inconsistent. Like for me, I can laser in on anybody when I'm invited. I can see things. I just know it's like bam, bam, bam. This is what's going on. This is what you need to do. And it's so easy. But for me, the sort of like ironic thing is I can't do that within myself consistently. So sometimes I really do get to just hear myself talk to multiple people without their feedback, which is extremely hard for people because we're so conditioned to want to fix. Like, oh, you have a problem? Well, you should do this because, in my opinion, like, duh, I know everything. And it's people don't know everything. I don't know everything. No one knows everything. That's the mystery and the beauty of this world. But for mental projectors specifically, because we're so open and we're getting all this outside information all the time, and it's like, it to me can kind of feel confusing. But since I've been experimenting and researching, because that's also part of my design, and really tapping in and slowing down and contemplating, which is all part of being the beautiful projector aura type, it has really saved my sanity. I mean, I used to take anti-anxiety meds, anti depressants because I have a completely open solar plexus. Now I'm not on anything. Like I refuse that. I refuse to choose that and be controlled by that. Like I can handle my emotions way better. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of like intense, but it passes through me so much more because I know this stuff, because I've been living and experimenting with my design. So it is so freaking powerful. Like I just wish that more people would take on the experiment, and this is key for me. Take it on. Don't just be consumed by the information, because the information is not embodiment. It's not doing the work and like giving yourself a gift. Yeah, it might take years, it might take whatever time it needs to, but with information, it's just kind of like this verbal, like, okay, so what? If it's not landing in your body, in your vehicle, and you're not living it, it's not serving you. And we have this great gift that is here for us. Um, so that's sort of my journey with being a mental projector so far. And as you know, like, sometimes I just kind of channel when I'm talking because it's just all the insight and information that I'm getting downloaded from, and just talking in the moment. I'm not supposed to really like, yeah, sometimes like it's good to like plan things because I do have one left arrow, and that's kind of like a more in depth in human design. But for the most part, like it's really supported me leaning more in that feminine and receptive and just like trusting in my process, which has been also part of like my healing too.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know that about the antidepressants and anti-anxiety and all of that. I didn't realize that. That's, one of the things they say in human design that almost anybody who has an open solar plexus is going to be, you'll find them on antidepressants, anti-anxiety, something like that. And I always do feel that if people just knew that one basic thing, we would start healing the planet and healing so many people from that. I didn't know that was part of your journey. Maybe I remember way back, but you mentioning that, but hearing you share that experience is so powerful and huge. That's really amazing. Um, and what would you say to people who are contemplating the experiment and contemplating doing, or even doing the certification going through? Because I mean, part of the certification process really is, it's a process of living it first and seeing it in the community of the people that are going through it together. That to me is what makes it so unique, is that everyone gets to witness that flowering with each other. What has been your experience in that?
So, I mean, I would recommend it a million times over. And, I think it's just if it speaks to somebody, if it's calling them, if they're open to it, if they keep seeing this, if something in their, if their sacral saying yes, if their emotions are like, it feels good, if they're talking about it, like if their gut, depending on their inner authority. And also, I think, I mean, it's just been because I've been in different coaching groups and different groups and tribes, and I'm collective circuitry, and I never felt like I fit in, or certain things would shock me about like the fantasy or it not being in true alignment or integrity. So that would be really heartbreaking because I feel like we all have this sense of wanting to belong and connect with our aligned people, and doing the certification with you and like all the students that have become friends and family in your group, like this to me has been the most powerful, life-changing courses that I've taken, and I cannot recommend it like enough. So yeah, it's been such a blessing. Like I'm always blown away after each class we have, and like all the ahas and downloads, and like just the gifts that we get to experience together, and then like individually, and like allowing each of us to really step into who we were like created to be, and then we witness it. Like it's freaking amazing.
Thank you so much. I love hearing your story. I have to say, like, one of my favorite things, I was actually really excited to talk to you today, and Callum. Like, one of the things is I have energy when I'm in love with people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and every class, like, I just feel that way with you guys. Like, I'm so excited, like, to hear everybody's journey and what everyone's going through. And it's kind of like being, it's being with the people that you love. And it's really miraculous. And I don't know how it always happens that everybody that is going through this journey is like the greatest people in the world. Like, I love you guys so much, and it's always been so amazing. And I hope to create more and more spaces where we can all like come together and create that deeper family connection, because it's so powerful. And thank you so much, Lauren, for that. Like, my heart is exploding right now. I just love sharing this journey with you.
Thank you. And I feel the exact same way. I'm so honored.
Yeah, and so Cal, I want to turn it over to you. Thank you for being so patient and holding the space. Just adore you as well. Like, it's been such an honor. I love you in class every week. I love all of your insights. I love everything you bring. Like, having you there has been really special, both of you guys. But it's just been really fun to have you. And so yeah, so please just talk about yourself, anything you want to share. And I'm just gonna hand it to you, anything that comes forward for you.
Okay, sounds good. And Lauren, I really loved hearing what you had to share, by the way. Like somehow that felt special to hear that. So
It really did. It really did. I felt it in my body. Like, I felt,
yeah.
yeah, that's when when a projector is really turning on, because you can feel, like, I watched that with the projectors. You can feel when they speak, you feel it unfolding like in your body. So anyways, go ahead.
Like the glow up has been real for everybody in the class.
The glow.
Perhaps Lauren especially, but for everybody in the class, the glow
Yeah.
up has been real. So okay, I'm Callum. I am a 4-1 emotional manifesting generator. And human design has deeply served me because it's the first and only model of reality that has enabled me to actually be operational.
Mm.
And especially having the amount of energy that I feel in my body regularly, being operational is no joke, because being sensitive to my ability, as we've talked about today, to say burn the house down, or in other words, be pathological. Being sensitive to my ability to do that, it's been so tempting to simply disengage from the world and hide in a hole somewhere because I don't want to harm and I don't want to be harmed, right? Um, so human design, and then, well, so let's talk about human design, and then we'll also talk about this course. So human design has been extremely helpful in helping me understand how to utilize my energy correctly, how to feel that sense of freedom and expansiveness, as well as operating in response and not forcing my opinions, my worldviews on others just because I think that it would be good for them. And so it's been quite a journey. And what I love about Raquel's class so much is how we dive into depth. And it's like, and I notice this with clients as well, my own clients. It's like there's a need to slow down and pull apart the yarn ball of what the heck is really going on. And it's so tempting just to say, oh, in this, and then like pass it by, right? In the standard manifesting generator format. Um, let's skip that step because it's uncomfortable, maybe. But there's something uncanny about, first of all, going through a channel, say, and then if that's my channel, expressing that. And as I'm hearing about the resonance of this channel, going through my own memories of, oh, here's where I've expressed that well, here's where I've expressed that poorly. And then that's therapy. That's literally therapeutic value. That's healing. That's helping me level up in my form. And then also hearing other people's expression with their channels, because it's like, here is the archetypes that are embodied with this. Let's hear the actual embodiment expression. There's something beyond the words that's felt. So that is deeply, deeply helpful. And that's not something you can find just about anywhere else, it seems. So for that and for this container, I'm deeply grateful, Raquel. This has all been wonderful, and I'm excited for when we get to do level 4 as well.
Wow, I just got so much from both of you just now. Just really giving you guys the space and having this platform to really hear you speak, because I was really, really moved by both of you. And Callum, thank you so much for what you just shared. It really is exactly that, the time and the space to really go deep and to really connect with people. And one thing that I did realize is all these connections that we're making, even though we're all coming from all over the world and we meet up online, they're real. These are real connections and they're for life. And that, I think, is what really does feel different for me than so much of what I've experienced before, where it is like, let's just rush through it so we can get to the final, like, making money. Let's just get to the point where we can make money, when really what we really want is the journey. We really want the experience. We really want to feel the depth and to go deeper into the connection. And so your share on that is really, it's so heartfelt for me. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, you guys are both such beautiful souls. I've really, really loved watching you share. There was something else that you said that I wanted to respond to, was my brain just left the building.
I think we were both just so moved by how you talked. Like, I really felt the emotional aspect of you, and it was so grounding.
It was.
And like, I'm mesmerized. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, just hearing you speak and your experience, and it was such a different energy for me because I can just talk really fast, but yours is like the wave
See.
of the emotions. And I don't get to experience that. So I just want to like thank you for that.
Thanks. I appreciate you hearing that from you. That's interesting too, because that helped me realize that like, yeah, that gave me clarity of where I am, and that I'm now allowing myself the space for the emotional expression.
Yes. Okay. So I got it. I got what I wanted to say.
What would
The
you like to say, Raquel?
sorry. The what you said was the operational.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about the operational, like that, that was just such the right word. And because you have that MG with the emotions, those two worlds are so intense. And to become operational with those, meaning you have to be able to have the MG and the emotions find their way to each other. And Lauren just nailed it. You did it in your communication because the MG just so naturally wants to skip things, right? They skip steps because they're so fast. And so to be able to speak in such a way that also brings us to the depth of the emotions. So you really exemplified through what you shared about this idea of being functional and operational. And I would say that's exactly what happened to me, but for different reasons. That human design was the first thing I became functional, I became practical, I could live my life.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so share more on anything else you want to share. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Um, I think I'm learning to give myself permission to talk about me as a defined will person and how powerful that can be. So thank you guys for that reflection. Um, it is 11/11. It's a great day to manifest. um, but okay. The world is deeply lost right now. And to actually have a space that we can step into and be seen as the fullness of ourselves and accepted for both, you know, the not so great selves and the better parts of ourselves, and then to develop ourselves, like that is invaluable. That you don't get to find that many places in the world. So, you know, power and kudos to you and Davidia and Raquel for creating this space. Right.
Thank you so much. And I think I got some new connection with you around that innocence too. I saw that today when you mentioned that. I had forgotten because obviously, we're looking at so many different aspects of our chart. But I love the innocence. And I really felt that today too when you were sharing. And innocence is another thing that we just don't get the place in the world to really allow the innocence. And it's such a beautiful, it's so needed and it's so beautiful. And you're so right. The world is lost in so many ways. And so to be able to have a sacred space that you're going to just let all of those pieces flower and shine. It really is. It's really sacred. And so thank you so much for sharing that.
Can I share something on that while we're here?
Yeah.
Because like something that's been warping for me, and I'm still, I feel like I actually gained an insight today on it, but is like, you know, having that motivational innocence. It's like, you know, if I see somebody down, for example, I want to go like play and like surprise and you know, help them be silly, right? Help them be lighthearted about whatever the hell's going on, right? But I find it's gendered for some reason, like not so much within me, but in the world it's gendered, as in like, okay, so when I do it with men, sometimes they're not open to the intimacy, right? And so like I learned to not be emotionally intimate, and it's still a little bit hard for me, especially with men. And then with women, they think it's flirting.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, no, like I'm just being playful. Um, you know, but they're, I don't know. For me, it feels like the devouring mother aspect, wanting to have. And I don't know, I just want to mention that because I don't really know all the way what to do with that. Just love it. I get, just have compassion. That's my only response at the moment, which is maybe a decent one. But anyway,
Yeah, I think you're definitely nailing something really important. I think that the innocence hasn't really found its place in the world yet. I really feel that. I feel that the innocence, the playfulness that is, it feels feminine, but it's really, it's also very childlike.
yeah.
And the childlike innocence it's just completely smacked out of us. Like kids are even taken out of their innocence way too soon with all of the things that they're exposed to. And so I don't know, it's the vulnerability of the innocence that society isn't comfortable with yet. And the more you can just allow it without worrying about what anyone else, I think that the more it's able to flower. So my tone is one. I'll check yours in a minute. My tone, which is security, the security of the innocent. So what I really notice is that when someone gives me the security, meaning I feel secure to be innocent, it's like the most sacred, beautiful space for me. And so, and it's very, very rare. So, let's
Did
see
you
what
guys
your
did you guys hear the opportunist in me? Since we're here,
since we're here.
I should say.
Yeah, so yours is a little bit different. So, oh, yeah, so yours is your tone four, your tone four.
Interesting.
So that is, that's the meditation. So the tone four is really about your own being able to hold your own inner experience of the innocence, regardless of what anyone else is throwing at you.
Yeah, I would say so. And people can get offended by that shit. It's funny.
Yeah, it is also, well, you're also talking that gate 59 is um
Line 6 for me.
yeah, it doesn't, it's intimacy. It's not as intense as the 59-6, which is really penetrating, but the 59 will do it as well. So it's like a misinterpreted sexuality, like when you're talking about the
Yeah.
playfulness and the flirting and all of that. It's a misinterpreted. So I think that I think innocence is really something that it's in the six, it's the theme of the six. So it does take time
Mhm.
and development to really find its way.
Yeah.
And we're not even doing that in this class. So it does take some time, but I'm seeing it in you and it is so beautiful. And so the more you can let it come out, I think the more and inwardly. So the meditation is an inward experience.
Mhm. Do we do that in level 4?
We don't even do that in level 4. We do it in the 4 radical transformations. But I have been adding it throughout classes.
Mm.
Um, it's a really, really intense depth of study. But remind me, and I'll give you a couple of bonus stuff if you want to experiment with it a little bit. Because even Lauren, I know she's really gone through, but we did it in manifestation by design too. We did the motivation. So I can give you a little stuff to do it. There's like human design has so many layers to it. Um it's ridiculously how many layers, but yeah.
Can I share one more thing?
Yeah, please.
Um, I think if I didn't know human design before I went into my workplace, I would have fucked it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Um, because what ended up happening was I basically sat and did nothing and contributed nothing for like 4 months because they knew they needed me, but they didn't know what to do with me. Right. And then like I got a little bit. Okay. And it's like I got a little bit more, right? And then like at some point, stuff was going really, really wrong. And then they're like, wait, we have Callum here. Like, let's just put him on this. He'll sort it out. And I did, right? And then in that process, I became really central to everything we do.
Mm,
It's like now I'm one of the key people.
yeah.
And what's even cooler than that is that I'm accepted in my play. It's like my play is actually accepted by people as work, and it is, right? But it sounds playful, but it's work. Thank you, Lord.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I love that. That is one of the greatest gifts, you learn to wait. I mean, because you probably could have gone in there and like just initiated and tried to prove yourself and tried to, make your way.
You know what's funny about that is they told like after a couple months I heard, oh, you know what the last project manager did? He came in here and started trying to boss everybody around. Yeah, he was gone in like 3 months.
Yeah. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. Lauren, do you want to share after hearing anything else you want to add to this beautiful conversation? And I love that we just like kind of went to the depth of the conversation. And don't worry, you guys, I will edit stuff. So,
Yeah, talking about work. So, what stood out to me the most when I found out I was a projector, I had been in a profession for about 10 years. It's going to be maybe a little before 10 years. And I was a behavior therapist. And when I learned that I was a projector and certain things about my chart and you need to be in the right environment, I was like, the F word, darn. Like I'm so in my not self. And the waiting for the invitation. When I learned I had to wait for the invitation, I was like, screw that, I'm not waiting. But once you know something, you can't unknow it. And so when I realized every time I was initiating, trying to be recognized, trying to make things better at the place I worked, and it wasn't happening, I wasn't being recognized. People were stealing my ideas. I was being sabotaged. I was like, all right, what can you do? Like, I'll experiment being a projector. And it was very hard at first because I felt like I was swallowing all my words and insights at first, but then something clicked where I was like, wow, I have so much energy actually. Like my energy is like coming back into my body. And why was I giving away all these things like my gifts and stuff for free and like wasn't being recognized or appreciated? So like all these things started to click and turn on as I was going through the experiment. But initially it was very hard for me. I was very sad because we're always conditioned to be our not self, right? But through the journey and then giving myself permission to exit that career and go into a path where it's way more in alignment, fulfilling, just continuing to see where the journey is bringing me. I mean, I don't think most people get to experience this in their lifetimes. Like, I know I am truly, absolutely, amazingly blessed. Like, I have experienced like lifetimes on lifetimes of blessings being able to live my design and break out of the conditioning and the paradigms and the matrices. And I just wish everybody gets to experience this. Like, it's amazing. Thank you, Raquel. I love you. I love Davidine, even though I don't really know
You're
him.
making
I
me
love everyone
cry.
in our groups. So much gratitude from the bottom of my heart.
That's seriously making me cry, Lauren. You're right. So most people don't get to experience this. I'm gonna call our mental projector friend right after this, by the way, and tell her what you just said. I hope you don't mind.
it is so powerful, Lauren. I have to say I have the exact same experience. Exactly. Like I'm not gonna wait, okay, I like this information, I'm not gonna do it. And then when you can't unsee it, and then this bitterness comes, and then you're like, fuck, okay, I'll try it. It's so funny. It's just like it's so interesting. But yeah, You guys, thank you so much. I really, really, really feel blessed. I feel deeply connected. I have always felt deeply connected to both of you, but even more so now, just like really stopping and giving you the space to share on an even deeper space, because you guys have so much wisdom. Both of you have such wisdom, and I'm blown away by you both. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. I'll see you guys next week. Okay.
Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend, you guys. Sending
Bye,
so much
guys.
love.
Mwah. Love you both.
Likewise. Take care.
Bye. Give my love to Krista.